TBIC, the best in sports entertainment. We're here live in Parliament USA. TNS Media Group is the team and the family. So let's get into this Chris Paul thing. Chris Paul has been released and is no longer with the LA Clippers. Good for Chris Paul because the Clippers are trash. Right now, as of right now, their play, they are trash. It was mentioned, or there was a statement that came out, or something that came out that stated that him and Tyronn Lue weren't seeing eye to eye. They weren't speaking for weeks leading up to his release. This is another point guard feud, I believe, because Chris Paul doesn't really, from what I hear and what I've seen and heard from players around the league, is that Chris Paul isn't very friendly and isn't liked by a lot of players in the NBA. Notably, point guards. You see him and Rondo got into it. I believe they had some arguments and things of that nature. Rondo did seem like he did kind of blow some spit or some sweat on him. I don't know what it was. But there was something that kind of, led to them fighting. Chris Paul has been very vocal in speaking about certain things into the media, saying certain things about players and so forth and so on. But Chris Paul loves to win. He's a great player, and I got to give him that. I just think that, it just wasn't working. Maybe Chris Paul saw some things that he couldn't be quiet about. Maybe Kawhi Leonard not playing as much, and maybe James Harden not, running the offense the proper way. I don't know, but I know James Harden and Chris Paul played together in Houston, and ultimately that led to Chris Paul being shipped out of Houston at some point. But in my opinion, if you look at this team, you look at a player like Chris Paul, he's not going to sit around and be quiet about anything, whether it's the play, the coaching, the schemes, whatever's going on. Chris Paul is going to be very, very vocal about what he feels needs to be changed. And maybe that's the issue. Maybe Tyronn Lue couldn't deal with another point guard and another, because let's keep it real. Chris Paul has coaching ability. He has the ability. He knows the game. He's been to the finals. He's been very dominant. He's led the league in assists for years. He has a lot of accolades. He's been on winning teams with the Clippers as well. So if you look at this guy like Chris, I'm going to say about Chris Paul, look at him and his resume and what you think you get from him as far as his beliefs or his visions of an NBA team. Maybe he's not seeing success coming from LA, and maybe that's the reason why he spoke up. Maybe that's the reason why he didn't get along with the head coach, because there's some inconsistencies there with the coaching and the players. So now Chris Paul is out. Will he land with another team? No, I don't think so. Maybe so. Maybe a contending team. I don't know. Maybe either way, you had a wonderful career. I enjoyed watching you play, and I understand your frustration and whatever it may have been as far as the play of the Clippers, because the Clippers right now are terrible. So you heard it here first. It's TBIC, the best in sports entertainment.